Nick White, coach the defensive backs, and this is my 16th season at Maryville High School. Growing up in a football family, very rarely did we talk about football at home with our dad. I was fortunate enough to get to play for my dad for 2 years at William Blount, and then played 4 years at Maryville College for my dad. And that idea of football stays at football has kind of run through our family since we've been involved. I was very lucky to get to come and coach with Mike. Coach Quarles offered me a job after being somewhere else for 10 years.
I didn't meet Nick probably until my first year coaching as an assistant at Maryville. I knew who he was because I played for Coach Mike White, his brother, and so and he was the head coach at Lenoir City when I played. So I got to meet him obviously when we got on staff, and certainly I remember early on staff, I learned real quick that he was the life of the party.
I got to coach my two nephews, and even though they were offensive specialists as freshmen, I got to coach them. And coaching with Mike was a dream of mine. To be able to coach Nolan, the pressure of being in that position, I'm sure, weighs on him. And so we try really hard at home not to put any more on him. Family and football has been in our lives since as long as I can remember. As people ask me, well, how long have you been coaching? And I'm like, well, 51 years. How long have you been teaching? Well, 51 years. It's just, we've always been involved in football. So we've been blessed, there's no doubt about it.
If anybody was made to coach sports, in my opinion, it's Nick White. And obviously he comes from a coaching family, his dad, and I've heard so many people say, if you ever wanted to know what Mike White was like, his daddy Mike White, not brother Mike, then look at Nick. They just say, I've heard so many people who knew his dad talk about how eerily similar they are as coaches when they're on the field, and the way they talk and say things. Nick's such a fantastic storyteller too. He'll tell us all types of old stories about not just his brother Mike, but his dad Mike.
Another funny story, my mom, when we went down to the Jamboree, Mike and I were walking down the track, and our mom, who was a teacher down there as well, stood up and yelled, "Welcome home," and it will always be home to us. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We were raised at that place. To be down there, I'm talking about just a flood of memories. I mean, just from everything from going to camp with my dad, and the nickname Loogie that I got when I was little. It was just all kinds of memories. So yeah, it's a blessing too.
If we do anything right, I feel like we take care of each other really well. And the White family kind of embodies that. Nick, Mike, and Chase. They're blood, so that they're going to take care of each other, be loyal to each other. Nick just does such a great job of the camaraderie aspect and keeping our chemistry where it needs to be. He's also a heck of a football coach. It's just impressive how hard Coach White works, Coach Nick White. Obviously as the head track coach, he's there all track season. As soon as football ends, the next week he's starting track workouts.
Yes, I'm busy. I mean, got 3 kids, and one playing softball in college, and Nolan playing baseball and football here, and then Harper playing basketball and running track and playing softball. We're busy, but at the end of the day, like I said, I got a card from DJ Burks last week, and those are the types of things that really matter, and he was just talking about that he's hoping things were going well, and he missed Wednesday night pizza,
and I can't tell you how many kids have come back to Maryville, and Nick White's their favorite coach because of the relationship that he's built with them over the 4-year career that they're at Maryville.
It's just such a rewarding job that a lot of people see it as it's all about winning and losing, and that's important. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that that's important, but it's not the goal. It's not the goal. Again, I think when I first started, it was to be able to continue to compete in a game that I loved. I think the biggest thing for me is getting kids to understand that making decisions and allowing yourself to be part of something bigger than yourself will always make your life more fulfilled. And the way that you do that, of course, is you build those relationships, to where they can understand that. But I think once I figured out that it wasn't about, and it took me a little while, because I just didn't know. But once I figured out that it was about, teaching kids that it's much more important to put everybody else in front of yourself in making decisions that involve everybody else is much more rewarding. And that's a grown-up thing. It's something that takes adults even a long time to figure out. And so, being able to build those relationships and trying to get kids to understand that every decision that they make, not only on the football field but in life, affects a lot of other people. And if you can get kids to figure out that if they'll make decisions with everybody else's best interest in mind, then their life will be so much more fulfilling than it would be if all you're worrying about is yourself. And one thing that I think we've really done well here at Maryville through the years, and that was even before I even got here, was the idea that you put team first, you put other people first, and everything else just kind of takes care of itself.
What makes him so great is his work ethic, his standard that he expects not only out of himself but out of his players, and then the way that he coaches his kids and can get them to play with confidence but also at a high level. Super impressive.